Thanks for stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I'm about 20 minutes away from cutting all this, shaving all this off, and cutting my hair so I don't look quite as raggedy in the next upcoming videos. But just wanted to answer a couple questions that I've seen. And it's not a specific question, it's just people asking advice about being a new truck driver. And it got me kind of thinking about what some of the turning points were in my training process, or even still as my progression as being a truck driver. And one of the hardest things for me to do is to acknowledge success or acknowledge that something's good or something like that on my part. For example, I'll cook something and, you know, logically I could look at it and say, man, that is a great dish. My wife will say it's a great dish, and I'll always nitpick it, like I could have done this, I could have done that. And I kind of started falling into that same mindset when it came to trucking. And one thing I realized was that I had to acknowledge when I was doing good. I had to embrace those moments that I overcame something, and it could be something as stupid as pulling into a fuel island. It could be the first time you drive through a truck stop and feel totally comfortable. You know, as far as truck stops go, for me, when I first started going into these truck stops, whether I was driving or a passenger, it just looked like complete chaos to me. Like I couldn't understand the flow. Like I wouldn't even know like which direction to leave out of the fuel island, things like that. Same thing, you know, when it came to backing, you know, I could, you know, my trainer could be telling me, man, that was a good job. And I'd be over there, you know, nitpicking it like, you know what, I might have, you know, done this a little bit. I might have, you know, turned a little bit too hard here or whatever. And one thing I really had to do was just slow down and acknowledge all those points or all those things that I'm doing that are good. And that could be going to a shipper that I'm unfamiliar with that has 49 different things to do before you drop a trailer or pick up a trailer, and you know you finally get out on the road. And this could be something small. You know, a lot of people that have been driving for a long time or have been to a particular shipper a number of times, you know, it may not seem like a big deal, but you know what I try to do now is acknowledge those times that not necessarily I overcame something, but acknowledge those times when I think that I did kind of a good job. And I think it's super easy to just nitpick yourself on everything that you do. And when you first start driving it, whether it's in, not necessarily as much in PSD, because you always have somebody, at least if you're doing PSD over the road, you always have somebody that's over your shoulder, and you know that person may or may not be telling you that you did a good job or whatever. But when you're really out there on your own, you know, those things kind of come to light a little bit more. And it really came to light with me when I got into TNT, when, for example, you know, when I was always keep an eye on your trailer, always, you know, do that. But, you know, when I was able to understand where my trailer was going to be at any given time, rather than always having to, you know, babysit it or, you know, be 100% concerned about where it is at all times, because after you've been driving for a while, you know, it's gonna become second nature. And you know, that's one of those things that I look back on and I was like, man, you're doing this thing, you know what I'm saying? You got to give yourself a pat on the back in this business, because oftentimes you're not going to have somebody there that's gonna be patting you on your back. Like I said, my trainer was good at it. The second trainer was good at it, and really would only come to backing. You know, we really didn't talk too much about driving. I think that just the driving always sort of came, you know, natural to me, whether it was the amount of time driving. Like some people have a hard time coming out of the box driving, you know, a full shift, you know, 11 hours, you know, whatever that is. And, you know, I came out of the box, you know, able to do that, but some people can't. So what I'm saying is, if you just got into training and you finally have got to that point where you can drive that you know, 11 hours, or, whatever that amount of time is that you're striving for, acknowledge that, and kind of give yourself a pat on the back for that, you know. Um, big one for me was just dropping off that first load, picking up, dropping it off, and, having a successful run on that. And again, it's something simple, but I do think that you need to, you know, acknowledge those things, because especially when you're out there on your own, there's not going to be somebody there that's going to be telling you, you know what, you handled that hill back there pretty good. You know what, when that trailer got a little squirrely on that ice, you didn't lose your composure, you did a good job on that. Nobody's going to be there telling you that stuff. So, you know, I really think that embracing those on your own is not only going to help you, but it's also going to, in a way, I can't really explain it. In a way, it's almost going to help your progress along by noticing the things that you've done better and the things that you could do better. I mean, I'm a rookie driver myself. There's plenty of things that I still have to learn, obviously. But one thing that I really had to acknowledge was, when I first got out on my own, or even when I was with my trainer, sometimes, that time between pickup and drop off, that was like the easy time for me. But as soon as it would be pulling into a shipper or pulling into a receiver, I would get a certain amount of anxiety, just trying, just over, what's it going to be like backing in there? What's it going to be? All that different kind of things. And once I finally got to the point where I pulled up to a shipper and I really wasn't concerned, I knew I could get it, wherever I needed to get it, no matter how ugly it was. Uh, you know, once I accomplished that and acknowledged it, it really made me feel a lot better. Uh, so, that's just one thing that I want to kind of mention to all you people that are, just getting into truck driving, regardless of what stage you're in, is just to acknowledge all the things that you're doing good. I mean, we spend enough time in our life beating ourselves up over what we uh, haven't done right or what we're doing wrong. Just take a step back and acknowledge those times that you did um, do the right thing. Now, as far as me, today is what, Tuesday, so I've been home. I'm not even going to count Saturday. I got home Saturday morning, but I was pretty wore out after that. So Sunday, Monday, so I've been home, well, let's just count that, 3 days, and just the beginning of the next day. I'm not sure when I'm going to pull out of here. I know it's not going to be any earlier than Monday, so today's Tuesday, so it's not going to be any earlier than next Monday, but here there might be a big snowstorm coming through, so that may play a little bit into into what my decision is and everything. But I do want to thank all you guys that stop by my channel, show me love, stop by and see me when I'm at the terminals, or even the few people that have stopped me when I'm out at truck stops. So I do want to thank you guys for that. Anyway, I've been too lazy to do a cooking video. I did plan out what my next 2 cooking videos for my cooking channel is going to be. So I'm just going to be doing just some simple stuff. I'm going to be doing like an Old Bay salmon and asparagus foil packet tonight. And then tomorrow I'm going to be doing seared pork medallions and some kind of a wine cream mushroom type sauce, maybe even a little bit of pesto sauce in that. That's as far as I'm gonna look at on that. I'm gonna try to do a couple more before I leave, just because I can't have that channel completely disappear while I'm out here trucking. So that's kind of what my goals are as far as being home. I did just stop at Walmart and buy a few things for the truck. I did buy some cold weather gear because it was a little cold where I was out before, so I got the little, the suspender pants with the jacket and that whole deal, and picked up some ice melt just in case. So anyway, for all you guys that are just about to go out with your trainers, regardless of if it's with Prime or anybody else, good luck out there, and definitely stay safe and don't outdrive your abilities. Thanks for stopping by No Hippie Trucking and Transportation. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe. I'm out.